We are doing this now, accounts payable accounting. Okay, that's our lesson number 5, the chapter 5. So in this accounts payable accounting, before we can start this accounts payable, right, we need to check the VAT setting in the software. So we are using this QuickBooks Online Plus, that is a Middle East edition. So here we have this option which is taxing, right? So all the tax rates, the codes, the rates, it's already there by default, right? They already design it as per the UAE VAT law. So we don't need to, like, if there's any code you want to create a new by yourself, then you need to go in this option which is add tax. But we have most of that tax rates is already there by default. Okay, if you click here on this edit VAT, that is at edit settings. If you click on this, right, that is that main default information, that the agency name is Federal Tax Authority, which is that the FTA, and your tax period starting from January. You need to file that return on monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. So here we have monthly and quarterly in UA. So we need to, for example, we need to submit, we need to file the return quarterly, and we are using accrual accounting, and that is a business ID number, that is your trade license number, or you can also mention your the TRA number, right? And then save it. That is the standard setting, the default setting for your text. Similarly, if you click the drop down this, and this is what edit rates. So these are the default rates which is already uh, created by the QuickBooks as per the UAE VAT law, right? We have you. This is our zero rated tax, standard rated tax. FUJ means Fujairah, right? Then exempted, standard rated, right? Standard rated AUH for Abu Dhabi, for Ajman, for Ras Al Khaimah, right? And that is intra GCC. That the taxation is there. That is reverse charge, right? So that is a standard rated Coin, that is standard rated Dubai, and that is standard rated Sharjah, right? So these all are the standard tax rate, which is already predefined by the QuickBooks. Okay, so we are not going to added anything, right? We're going to use the same default VAT rates in QuickBooks. Clear? Now, after this, we are going to do our this accounts payable account. Okay, so we're going to start with this account payable, but before that, you need to check that do we have the purchase order feature in this QuickBooks Online Plus. That purchase order feature is activated, is enabled or no. So for that, you need to go in the setting icon, right? You need to click on this gear icon, that setting icon, and here we have this account and settings. In this account and settings, here we have this option which is expenses, right? In that expenses, we have this option, that purchase order, that you want to use this purchase order. So you need to check this option if you want to use this purchase order feature in QuickBooks Online Plus. But if you're using QuickBooks Essential, yes, there we don't have an option of this purchase order. Okay, and this custom field means that if you want to add uh, some custom fields by yourself other than the standard fields which is defined by the QuickBooks, right? You want to enter some customized field in your purchase order, so you can write the name and check this one. So those custom fields will be there, right? So we are not going to do that, and that is a default. This is custom transaction number, the serial number, and that is a default message on purchase order, right? That what is the default message you want to enter on your purchase order. So you can write here that handle the stock carefully, right? So you can give any message here in on your purchase order here, and then done, right? So once this purchase order feature is activated, so our first step is that we need to create suppliers. So we have three vendors here. The first one is Red Ferry, second is Carry 4, and third is Wind International. Okay, so let's consider it that the Red Ferry, they are from Dubai. Kerry 4, they are from Abu Dhabi. And Wind International, they are from Sharjah, right? So we need to create these three vendors. The Kerry 4 and Wind International, they have an opening balances of 100,000 and 75,000. So our first step is that we need to create the vendors, right? So how to create these vendors in QuickBooks Online Plus? You need to go first. We need to create the suppliers, right? So we don't have an option. If you click on this plus icon, we don't have an option to create suppliers here, right? So for that, you need to go here in this expenses, right? You can click here or you can click here supplier directly, right? If you click on this expenses, you can click on this suppliers, okay, and track who you pay for product and services, including contractors, right? So here we need to add suppliers. So click this option. Okay, so the title name, you can give that the contact person name, right? It's not the company name. So let's suppose we're gonna enter Mr. Uh, Superman, middle name, no, uh, Superman Khan. Okay, that is a suffix, right? And then tab, that is a company name. Okay, we have company name Batman Trading LLC. Okay, then display name as, this is very important, that you are making that purchase order or the purchase invoices either on the person name or on the company name. So we want on the company name, right? Then press tab, that is that address, right? Street, Bank Street, uh, near the metro station, city Dubai, this you can enter Dubai. You can give any that your box number you can mention here, and the country is UAE. And if you want to give any additional note about the supplier, you can enter here. Then we have attachment is there, any supporting document, that information related to the supplier, so you can mention here. Okay, then press tab, that is the attachment. Tab, this is email, right? If you want to send the purchase order by email, right? So you can you can enter the default email of your supplier, right? So let's suppose it is batman@gmail.com. The tab, that is a landline number, right? This is a telephone number, that is a fax number. If there is in any other number, right, that is their that ad that website, right? Then that billing rate hours, right? That is not a service company, right? But if it is a service company, how much they are charging, right? So it's not a billing company, it's a trading company. Then we have a terms. We already created one terms, that was net 90 days. So let's suppose they give us net 60 days, right? And if there is an opening balance, you can mention the opening balance here, right? Then press tab, and that is what as of this date the opening balance. Then we have this account number appear in the memo of all payments, that is the company bank account number. Then business ID, that is their the company, no, or this the company, the vendors, right? And this business ID, that is, you can mention here there the TRA number or the trade license number. And I pay this supplier with which currency, in USD, in euro, or in Great Britain pound, or in the local currency. Clear? And then save it. So this is how we are creating a supplier in QuickBooks Online Plus. So similarly, I'm going to create another one new supplier. So this time, okay, company name is Patty, right? Display name is this, and that is office number 1601. Dubai, Dubai. That is the postal code, city Dubai, and if there's an email, you can mention that. There's no opening balance for this Red Ferry, right? And save it. Next, we're gonna create carry forward with an opening balance of 100,000. So supplier, now that is Annie, that is carry forward. That is carry forward. We are entering Abu Dhabi Ministry. That is Abu Dhabi. Say it's Abu Dhabi. You can give that code UAE, and that is carry forward and email.com. You can give that file and whatever that information is. Here we have the default terms, that is 30, and opening balance is 100,000. And as of, let's suppose from 1st January, right? And if there is an account number, so you can mention the account number, otherwise no need, and then save it, right? Similarly, we can create another one, which is Ring International. That is Ring International. It's in Sharjah, in Faisal Road. It's in Sharjah, state is Prince Sharjah. That is the default terms and conditions that we are paying within 30 days, and 75,000 is the opening balance, and as of January 1st, and then save it. Clear? So this is how we are creating suppliers in QuickBooks Online Plus. Any question? Okay. Now, if you want to check the reports, okay, so I'm gonna open a new tab. So right click here and open in a new tab. So in the standard, you can go scroll it down. That is what owes you. These are receivables, right? Then we have sales and customer related to the customer. Now comes related with the accounts payable with the vendors. So what you owe, right? So here we don't have that. That supply information. That is what expenses and supplier, right? So you can check here that the check detail, expenses by supplier summary, open purchase order, right? So if you have a proper accounts are there, right? We don't have a report of supplier list. So here it comes with that supplier contact number. So you can go click on this option and you can customize this report, because I want to see the supplier list on how many suppliers we have. So you can remove these columns, right? You can only enter that supplier or the contact person name and the email only or telephone number. It's on you, right? So you can customize that report and then save that report if you want to see that how many suppliers you have. right? So go in the customize, and here we have this rows and column, right? Change column. So I want to see the supplier uh, with the full name, not the okay, not the phone number, and full name is there, not the address, not the contact. And we need, let's suppose, the city, right? And after the city, we name the company name also. Okay, so we have the supplier. You can drag it down this company name also up. That is the full name, the city, right? And we can customize any other thing you want. Could be terms and condition. Okay, that's it. Okay, I want to see the phone numbers also, right? Run this report, and you can save this, customize that the report, and that is a supplier contact list, or you can mention it is supplier list, or it is list of suppliers, right? And I want to add this in a group, like in a report of my reports, under which all my customized reports will come. Okay, I'm going to create my reports, new group, add this one. So this report will be, you can see the custom reports, under that my reports, this list of supplier, and then save. Okay, so that is the supplier detail, that we have Batman, Carrefour, Red Ferry, Win International, that is the company name, the full name, the contact persons, that in which like cities, and that is the phone numbers. Yeah. So this is how we are creating uh, the vendors, your suppliers, and this is how we can check the list of all the suppliers. Now, if you want, if you go back here, back to the report list, you can see in the custom reports, in the custom reports we have this my reports, and the my reports we have this option, that is list of supplier. We already customized this one, right? So you can click here, edit, okay, and save as, save, sorry, go in the edit, and this is what account list you can add under the group, and then save it.
So you can put all your customized
Those reports which I need to check again and again, and I don't want to see in the standard format, because in the standard reports there are a lot of entries are there. I want the relevant that entries on. I want to see extra information, right? So then you can customize that report, and in the reports, when you click on this report, this custom reports will come, and under the custom reports all your customized reports will come. Yeah. So we done with this. We create the vendor, we check the reports. Now next step is that we need to issue a purchase order, right? So for our new office, we need to buy some items. For example, we need 20 keyboards, 20 mouse, 20 CPU, 20 monitors, 20 hard disk, and 20 mobile. The funny thing is that we don't have this inventory. Okay, so we're gonna create this inventory first. So we go in the sales, and we go in the product and services.
We did the inventory.
Yes, we
entered
create
some
that.
inventory before, right?
Yes, but we didn't do
Some
it.
items.
Some items we created. We have the keyboard.
Yeah.
We have the mouse.
Yeah.
We have this laptops.
Laptop.
There's no laptops. Okay, so we're gonna create here. The mouse is there. We're gonna create CPU, monitor, hard disk, and mobile. So you click on this new, and these are our inventory items.
Yeah.
So in the inventory item, the name first is CPU, right? That is stock keeping units, and under the category, computer items, initial quantity on hand is, uh, let's suppose it is opening balance is 50, right? As of date, first right? That is the reorder point. That is the inventory asset account, right? If you want to enter that sales price, you can mention that. Okay, inclusive of tax, we're going to do this later. That's the purchasing information, the cost, that is CPU. Okay, so that's gonna be, let's suppose 250 and save and new. Right, similarly, we're gonna create a monitor under the category computer items, right? And initial quantity we're gonna enter 50 as of the same date, and the cost, the price is for the monitor is, let's suppose it is 400, save and new. Quantity is as of date, save and new, and then we have hard disk, right? Under that the computer items, initial quantity is, let's suppose it is 20 as of this date, and we need to enter the cost, let's suppose it is 220, and save and new, right? And we have a laptop instead of mobile. Okay, so we already, now we have that stock is there. So now next step is what, that we need to create the purchase order now. Okay, so if you want to create the purchase order, okay, so for that you need to click on this plus icon, right? Click on this plus icon, and now everything is available here. The entire payable cycle, all the transactions, now it's there in this plus supplier. If you want to write an expense, the check, the bill, pay bills, purchase order, purchase return, the credit memo, right? That credit card, that credit, right? So all that information you need to enter from here in the supplier section, right? So first we need to create the purchase order. So you can click on this plus and you will go on this purchase order. So click it. So when you click on this purchase order, the first you need to enter the supplier. So the supplier is Red Ferry. So you need to select the supplier, it is Red Ferry. So when you select, the automatically that that address, everything, it comes here. Okay, let's suppose we're gonna select the Batman. So automatically, because in the Red Ferry we didn't enter that email ID, so that's why it didn't come, right? So when you select for carry forward we enter, right? So automatically it will appear. So let's assume it's for the Batman Trading LLC, right? So that is that the mailing address is there, and ship to, that is a shipping, right? So ship to, that where you want to ship this item, right? So you can mention that address. Okay, then that is a shipping address, right? Then that is a purchase order date, when you are issuing this purchase order. So let's suppose we are issuing this purchase order, okay, today, right? And ship Y through the courier, through FedEx, through plane, through a cargo, or what, right? So it is vendor pickup. Okay, then change it. You can select the buy. Okay, so you can change this one. Okay, next, here we have two things. One is the category, one is item detail, right? So our first item is what, that we are going to order 20 pieces of keyboard at the rate of 30, right? So product is keyboard, right? You can just tab, you can write the description, tab. Now look, the quantity on hand right now, it is 100, your order is 50. Okay, so how much we are purchasing? We are ordering 20. Tab, the rate is 30. So we're gonna enter 30. Tab, so 20 into 30, 600. tab, and what is the text. So you can select it is what standard rated 5%, right? Tab, this is related with the customer job, so we don't have that right now. This tab. Next item is the mouse, right? Mouse, and that is also 20.
Yeah.
The rate is 20, and that is standard rated 5%, right? Next item is what?
CPU.
Next is okay. Then we have CPU, right? So we select CPU, tab. It's CPU. How much? 20. What is the price?
80.
80.
Yeah.
Tab, and here you need to select the text rate. Standard is this. Press tab. Press tab. Press tab. Okay. Then next is what?
Monitor.
Monitor.
20 also.
20. The price
Is
60. Tab, and it's a standard rated. Next.
Hard disk.
And
20.
and how much is the price?
200.
200. Enter tab, and standard rated is this.
Uh-huh.
This tab, and tab. Next is
Laptop.
okay. Laptop, and how much is the price?
20 also.
1,500.
Yeah.
Okay, tab. It's a standard rated. Okay, so now I need to check this option. We're gonna delete this. I'm gonna enter that again. It's mouse. How much is that price for the mouse?
20.
20. And that is standard rated.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, so this is how you're gonna add all your items. And if you look, that is the subtotal. The subtotal of this purchase order is how much? That is 57,800, right? And with VAT, that 5% is there, so that VAT amount is how much? That is 2,819, and the total invoice value, that purchase order value, is now 60,690. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And message, you can enter here that your message to supplier, you can mention handle the stock carefully, right? You can give any attachment, right? And then save and close. Clear?
Yes.
So this is how we're gonna add purchase order or create purchase order in QuickBooks Online Plus. Clear?
Yes.
Now we need to check the reports. Okay, so we go in this reports. Okay, we go in the reports. We have the standard reports now. So again, you can enter here also, like you can search it here, purchase, right? If you just write the first three letter, it comes all that report which is related with the purchase order, right? So right now we're gonna go one by one, like it is there. What you owe, it's payable. Now expenses and supplier. So here we have like different reports related with the purchase order. This one is what? Open purchase order list, right? Open purchase order list, that how many purchase order are there for Carry for Wind International, for Batman Trading, for Red Ferry, right? If there are like 4, 5 or 10 purchase order, and you want to see the list of all the open purchase order, how many purchase orders are open, right? So then you can select this report, open purchase order. Then we have this open purchase order detail, in detail, item wise, right? You can open in a new window, and that is purchases by product and services. Right now we don't have any purchase yet, we're just ordering right now, so nothing will come. purchases by supplier, and that's it, right? So what you need to do, this report is what? Open purchase order list by customer. So right now we have only one purchase order as of this date. Purchase order number is this 1001, right? Shipping method is this. The total amount is 60,690. So right now we have only one purchase order. Yeah. This is what open purchase order list by supplier. The next report is what open purchase order details. Detail wise, right? That supplier is this, product is that products in service is CPU, account is this, quantity is this, received is 0, right? Back order is 20, okay, and then the total for this CPU is 1680. Receive amount is nothing, opening balance still open because you didn't receive it. The still open is this one, right? So this is your open purchase orders detail. Clear? Right? So after this, okay, we done with this purchase order. We check the reports of the purchase order. The next is purchase receive inventory, means that you are receiving the stock. Okay, now the scenario is that you order 20 pieces of keyboard, 20 pieces of mouse, 20 pieces of CPU, right? But for example, you receive call from the Batman Tradings and they said that we don't have that 20 pieces right now. Can we send you half, like 15 pieces today, and the remaining pieces we're going to send you after 2 days, right? So you said, okay, yes, we have an urgent work in the office, so can you please send us the 15 pieces today, and the remaining you can pay, or you will deliver after 2 days, right? So now we are receiving half order, a partial order, not the complete order, right? So if you're receiving, for example, the next day you receive the 15 pieces, and they give you that invoice also of 20 or 15. 15. So they will give you that invoice of the 15 pieces. So now, for example, that invoice number is 1122. So we're going to enter that invoice number, right? So how to enter that invoice? Okay, so we click on this plus. In that plus, this is what? Which option we're going to select? It's expense, it is a check, it's a bill, you are paying bill, purchase order, credit. Which one?
It
Is a bill. It's a bill. You're receiving an invoice, a bill.
bill,
Right?
Okay.
So click here, bill. Okay, so first we need to select. If you click here, it will show us that recent bills. So right now we don't have that. These are the opening balances. Okay, so you need to select the supplier, which is Batman Trading LLC. Right? So when you select the supplier, and if there is an open purchase order to this supplier, automatically it will appear here. Right? If you click, let's suppose carry for, there's nothing, there is no purchase order. Purchase order, we only created just one purchase order, and that is for the Batman Trading. Right? So when you select this Batman Trading LLC, automatically on the right side it shows that we have this purchase order. This is what purchase order number 1001, and on this date, that is the total amount of the purchase order. Taxable balance is this much, right? That is a further detail that you order, like keyboard, mouse, CPU, monitor, this and other stuff is there, right? So this is still open, right? So you want to add this one into your invoice. Yes, so I want to add this in our invoice. So click here, add. So when you add this one, so automatically everything comes here. Okay, and here you can check that is a mailing address, that is the terms and condition, that is the billing date. So we order on this, let's suppose we receive that invoice the next date, right? That is the due date of that invoice. Let's suppose that due date is it comes because it's net 30 days. Terms and condition, that is next that 60 days, right? So automatically it calculates the date. but let's suppose we are changing this one. Let's suppose we need to pay on 20th. Okay, and our bill number is what? 1122, right? And that is the purchase location is Dubai. Okay, so that is all that items which we receive, right? But we are not receiving 20, so we are receiving 15. So you can put 15, use down arrow key, right? 15, because we are not receiving the full order. Yeah, clear?
Yes.
So the total purchase order was 60,690 something,
Yeah.
right? But now we are receiving the half, the 15 pieces, and that is how much? 43,350. Clear?
Yeah.
And the VAT amount is that 5% is the VAT rate, and the total VAT on this invoice we are paying to the VAT man is 2,167.50 bills, and that is a total invoice. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's suppose we issue this purchase order, but the customer, that the supplier, they hit us a freight charges, right? Or any other like installation charges, right? Delivery charges, right? So we need to enter that charges now.
Oh, we can add on that.
Yes, but we cannot add here in the item details. This is what a category detail, right? You drop down this option here in the category. Okay, it's a delivery charges. Okay, shipping and delivery expenses, right? Or you can freight or delivery. Okay, so you can add here delivery charges. Let's suppose that is 100, right? Taxable, right?
Yes.
So now look that invoice value, it also increases.
It adds to the total.
Yes. Clear?
Yes.
Right? So this is how you're gonna add
So the
that
category details are like those extra charges that are like the supplier is giving.
Okay, and then save and close. Clear?
Yes.
So when you close this one, this is our bill number 1122, right? Clear?
Yeah.
And now we want to check that individual ledger detail, right? We want to check that the balance detail, individual supplier detail, that how much we need to pay him, right? So we go in the reports again. In the reports, now here we have that same standard. This is what you owe, right? So there are like different reports are here, right? You can check all of them. If there is an unpaid bills, you can check that. That is supplier balance summary. You can check this. That is in detail, right? That is age analysis are there, right? Aging, age detail, aging summary is there. Bill payment play. So these are all the reports. But it's better you can check this one, supplier balance detail. So right click here, open in a new tab. So that will give us in detail the supplier balance detail transaction wise. Okay, so we want to check only the Batman Trading LLC. I don't want to see the others, right? So you can go in the customize also, or okay, go in the customize, and we need to do the filter, right? In the filter we have the supplier, and in the supplier we want to see only the Batman, right? Now we have another options, right?
Yeah.
If you okay, I'm running this report right now. Okay, so when you run this report, it shows us only this, only the Batman, right? So here it shows that this is the bill 1122, right? 45,622, right? This much is the amount, and that is the balance. Okay, but if you check your open purchase order list, you can check also this over detail, right? This is our open purchase order detail by supplier. So the total amount of purchase order was 60,690. Sorry. And the remaining balance is now how much? 15,172. We need to receive the remaining 5 pieces.
Yeah, so the amount that we do in the inventory, it less on the total amount here on the detail.
Inventory means?
Yeah, I mean the 40,000, the 45,000.
Yes.
It automatically.
It is here, no? That 45,000 something.
Yeah, but I mean on this detailed open purchase, it automatically less what we did. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and if you go here, that is open purchase order detail, right? So we ordered 20. Yes. For the CPU, we ordered 20. We received 15. Back order quantity is still 5 is there,
Okay.
right? Total was 1,680. We received this much. The balance is this much. Clear?
Yes, clear.
So this is how you will record a partial invoice in QuickBooks Online Plus. Now, let's suppose the very after 2 days, you're receiving the next invoice 1130, the remaining 5 pieces, and they're also charging that the delivery charges, right? So again, you need to click on this plus icon. In the plus icon, here we have this bills, right? And you need to select the supplier. Supplier is the Batman LLC, right? The due date we are entering, let's say 20th of February, right? And that is a term, that is that bill date. Okay, that is the same, the 4th. Bill number is 1130. Purchase location is this, right? And you want to add this one. Okay, it's still open, right?
Yeah.
This is, if you click here, this it will open the purchase order, right? So I want to add this one now. So click here, add. So add it to your bill, that open purchase order, right? So delivery charges, they are charging, suppose that same 100 is they are charging, right? And now here look that item details here now.
So the quantity will change it to 5.
Okay, so this one, this shows this side, this shows that you already received that 15, right? Yes. Quantity on purchase order, the remaining is 5, the remaining is 5, the remaining is 5, right? So you already received this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to receive only this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna like delete this one. Okay, we have only this much. That is the balance amount with the VAT. That is the total amount, and then save and close. The bill, this much is saved. And if you check the ledger reports, refresh it. Yes, so it's there. Now the bill added, right? And we receive that the balance amount. Right? There is no open purchase order because you already received the order.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Clear? Any question? So how much we need to pay him now? We need to pay 60,900 because we purchased these two. Okay. We purchased, right? So we need to pay him 60,900. Okay. So now let's suppose we are not paying them full amount. We are paying half, partial payment, right? We are paying, let's suppose, 50,000, right? We are paying 50,000 on 15th of February. And the remaining balance amount we are paying on 20th, right? So we need to pay the bills. Okay. So in that product and services, right, we have this plus icon. Here we have the supplier. In the supplier, we have this pay bills. So in the pay bills, right, that is the payment account, to which bank account you're paying. Let's suppose you're paying through a Noor Islamic Bank, right? That is that the total amount is this much. Everyone is a lot of money. Okay, that's it. We are paying through this Emirates Islamic Bank. They have 70,000. Okay, so that is the payment date when you are doing this payment. So we are paying on 15th of February, right? And the reference number, you can mention that the check number, okay? And this currency, right? We are not paying for the carry forward. We are not paying for this Win International. We need to pay again these two, right? And how much we are paying? We are paying 50,000. Total is 60,690, but we are paying 50,000 only. So let's suppose your boss said that against this invoice 1130, you need to pay full amount, right? So you can click here. So automatically it will come, right? But against this amount, we need to pay the balance amount. So we are paying right now 50,000, right? And 50,277. So the remaining is 34,723. So we can mention here 34,723. That makes 50,000. 50 fields is there. Clear? Right? And that is the total payment. Current balance is this, new balance is this, right? Okay, so total amount is this, and then you can click save and print to print this voucher, and then save and close. So save and close, right? And you can check that report. Go here, refresh it. Now, when you click here, when you refresh it, look, it clears all the balance, right? It's still showing only the unpaid one. But what if you want to see all the details together, that how much you paid, how much is unpaid all together, right? Then you will go again on this customize. In the customize, go in this filter. In this filter, this is what AP paid. So here it is select right now unpaid. So this is unpaid here. So we want to see all. Right? So select on and one report. So now look, everything comes.
So also the other.
Look, these two are the bills: 1122, 1130, 45, and 50. And then this is a payment through a check number this 50,000. The remaining balance is now 10,899.50 bills. So we are paying this 10,089.50 bills on 20th of January or February, right? So again, you need to click here, and we need to pay bills, right? So you can go here in that same bank. We are paying, and we are paying on 20th. That is the check number in this currency, and we are paying full now. So select terms, right, and then save it. Go in that supplier balance detail, refresh the ledger. Right, and here it is, the balance become 0 now. Any question? Done? Okay, now what happened that in the last delivery which we received, that invoice which we received, this one 1130, if you click here, it will open that invoice, right? So this is our last invoice. In this last invoice, we received these 5 pieces of keyboard, right? So we receive call from our storekeeper, and they said that these five keyboards are damaged,
Uh-huh.
that buttons, that keys are broken, right? So in that case, what we need to do, we need to return these five keys.
So we
Clear?
need to make another.
Yes. So
Uh-huh.
we need to return these five pieces now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we need to record a purchase return. That is a credit amount, right? So we're gonna return five pieces of keyboard, and the invoice is 1130, right? So again, we go in this product and services, click on here, add new what? Supplier credit. Click here. Supplier is the Batman Trading LLC, okay? And nothing's open here because the purchase order, everything is closed, right? So that is a payment date, right? And here you can enter that reference number. That is our return reference number. Let's suppose 100, okay? And we are returning this on 21st. Wait, we are returning it on 22nd, right? And what we are returning? Keyboard. So keyboards we are returning. How many pieces? Five. The rate is this, amount is this, and that is the standard rated debt. And then save it. Here.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you check that supplier balance detail, refresh the ledger again, and here it will show 105 in negative. This negative sign means it's a payable or receivable.
It's a receivable.
Receivables, that we need to receive this 105 from the supplier, Batman paid.
Yeah, because we give them back the
Yes.
funds to go.
Any question till here? Now we have a situation here that what if your company they said that we need a replacement of these five keyboards, right? So you call Batman Trading that can you please send us that can you send those replace those five keyboards? They said yes, we're gonna replace it. Okay, so the next day they deliver you that a new five pieces of keyboard with a new invoice, right? So what you will do, you will go in this new and you're gonna record a new
Again.
one, right?
What if
And balance becomes zero.
what if it's like okay, this is dysfunctional. So we'll just deliver again another five tomorrow. Do we need to do a supplier credit?
Yeah, it depends. If you have a good understanding, right?
Yeah.
So then no need.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's better you can complete the process, issue that credit note, right? Do enter that supplier credit that we are returning it. Okay, the next day whenever they will deliver it, so it will automatically cancel. Okay, but what if your boss is angry? They said we are not going to buy anything from this Batman trade. They always deliver us the damaged item in every delivery. They are charging delivery. They charged 200 dirham, right? But they're paying. They're always sending us a damaged item in every delivery. One or two or 10 or 5 pieces are always damaged. So we don't want to do business from these people, right? So we need our money back. So now they are asking for a refund, right? So we don't have an option of a refund here. But if you check in the customer, if the customer is asking for a refund, so there we have an option of this refund receipt. But we don't have an option of a refund in the customer side, in the supplier side, right? So that is a bit different procedure. So what you need to do, we are receiving a refund in cash this 105, right? So we click on this plus, and now here we have this. We have this bank deposits. Remember this one. Here we have this bank deposits, right? So click here, and this window will open. We are receiving a cash,
Yeah.
right? So account is cash, right? On which date we are receiving? We are receiving the next day, okay? And received from, received from Batman. Okay, now this one is very important. Account. This is not accounts that vendor or customer, right? Here you need to select accounts payable. Important. Here you need to select accounts payable. Okay, received from the party name, the supplier name, but account is accounts payable. Okay, and you can give a description. Refund received from Batman traders, right? Payment method is a cash, right? There is no reference number. Okay, if you want to give your internal reference number, you can give. Okay, amount is how much? 105, right? You can check again, it's 105, right? There is no tax. Clear?
Yeah.
Right? And then save and close. Right? So if you go here, supplier balance detail, refresh it. It's become 0.
Because
we already received. Clear? So that is a complete cycle of this accounts payable accounting in QuickBooks Online Plus. And I hope that you understand this cycle. Clear?
Yeah.